Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style. They be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you've been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm a
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. So the completion good for 6 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, this defense for the Commanders, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On the move past the 40, and he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. On the counter, Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 10 yards there, good for a Washington 1st down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
He was brought down there by Julian Love. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week,
and he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time they were stopped on 4th down, had a drive stalled out. We'll see how they respond this go-around.
I'm eager to see what their mindset is, because moving the ball, feeling good, and then that abrupt stop on 4th down, do they go back to the bench and go, oh, boy, they got something for us? Or do they go to the bench and say, we blew it ourselves. Let's get back out there and move the ball again.
And is it different when you get stopped on 4th versus punt? Is that more motivation for the defense, a little more confidence?
I think as a defense, you're so excited with a 4th down stop. Making them punt, that's your goal anyway. But a 4th down stop, that's almost a sign of disrespect that they went for it in the first place. And when you get that, you feel great about yourselves.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing, Jones. Forced out to his left. The throw for Tony is intercepted. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down and 4, Powell. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Then he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. at the 9 on 2nd and 8. A carry here for the big tight end. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. They'll go play action. Howell. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
36 yards on the play.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. They'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Gibson going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Robinson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Get back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Sly able to put this one through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
This taken in at the goal line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Giants at 9-2 to start play. They've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 37. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jones throw taken in by Slayton. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Oh, Jones has just thrown his third interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he will have a first down as they're into field goal range now at the 30.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Second down throw for Howell. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So pass interference, the call, is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run with McKissick. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 46-yard line.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
faking the handoff. Howell. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Third and long. Here's Howell. He's going to wind up and air it out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Gibson again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Tress Way now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Jackson. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
throwing on first down. Jones to Barkley on the check down. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Out route pass complete to Bellinger. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick.
And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances.
Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it.
And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play.
Touchdown! Saquon Barkley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Giants are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Gano the extra point, and it's now 13-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter, despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Off play action. It's Howell.
Escaping the pressure right. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
Finding room at midfield.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll go again with Gibson. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Here's Howell. Thomas brings it in. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 29-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll run with Gibson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 59 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong. I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A bit of extra pressure now for this one on Joey Slye. This to make it a 2-score game. Slye able to put this one through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 35.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump-off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice gain. Jones throwing on first down. Throwing deep for Galladay. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Turnover that just got him the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't. Especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Completes it to Samuel. He's got room past the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Washington. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And that will make this a 16-point lead.
Makes the score. Commanders 23, Giants 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to make...
And now here is another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.